All right, looks like I'm gonna just adjust my desk a little bit so we can get rid of some of that other brown and just move my stand over just a little bit here. Okay, think I'm getting closer to being in the picture. All right, how's everybody doing tonight? This is Karen McNall. I'm with Inspired by Graham, and tonight we are going to be making, covering a journal and also making one of these larger tags. I do have a bunch of other projects I used Winter Meadows with that I'll share with you at the end of the video. And those are on my other desk. So I'm just going to go grab those right now. All right. So did everybody have a great, oh yeah, this is beautiful paper. It's still available, which is great. And it's carrying over. So we'll have this paper for a while. I'm very excited about it. I love it. I could use this all the time. It's really a paper for, every day, even though it's kind of got that hint of winter scenes. I would still use it as well. All right, so let me just check my laptop here. No, Lynn, I'm not doing any cards tonight. We are making a tag, a very, very simple tag, and we are covering a journal book. And then at the very end, I'm going to show some projects I made with Winter Meadows. So that is the plan for tonight. It looks a little blurry on my side here. Let me know if you can see everything clear or if I need to zoom in. These projects are very, very easy and can be easily mass produced. Okay, so I got the clapping hands from Denise. Thank you so much, Denise. Okay, so two of the projects here that are in front of you, I made, and we had them at my retreat back in September. I'm sitting down tonight, so we're going to see how that goes. So we used the Winter Meadows, and all the other projects I have from my retreat, I believe, are in this box. I've made a couple of them. Now this one, I swear I did it. I showed you how to make this, but then I'm like second guessing myself. So I don't know if I've shown this to you before. Well, then you get video number 2. But anyway, I do remember making this box here with you guys. So I do remember that, but it was a little while ago. All right, so just a couple house cleaning items. If you're on my email list, you'd know that these projects, the journal and the tag that I'm making tonight, will be given away on Wednesday. I'll just do a random drawing, and it will come from anyone that's on my email list. And it needs to be US only. I just can't afford to send this out internationally. So if you're not on my email list, there is a link in the description box. I've learned how to carry over all that wording into the description box, and I believe you'll be able to see it right now. So head over there, join my email list. I don't really send out emails every single day. Once in a while, I'll send out 2, like I did today. But I simply wanted to remind people of my adhesive sale that's expiring tonight at 9. So with that said, let me just show you my adhesive toolkit. I'm just going to move this over here. So my adhesive toolkit, let me see, I got it over here. So you would have received an email if you're on my email list, and this is either available in a porch pickup or it's available by mail, and I've already mailed a couple out today. So I'm just getting caught up over the weekend. We had a really huge event yesterday where we started assembling the 350 greeting cards for the Hartford Norwich holiday basket campaign. And we got through all but maybe, I don't know, 10 or 15 greeting cards. And we also started on the 350 tags. So we'll be finishing up that project on December 3rd, next Sunday, or this coming Sunday. Was a lot of fun. Got to meet a lot of new people I've never met before. So I love how stamping does bring us together. But anyway, let me get back to the adhesive toolkit. This does expire at 9 o'clock tonight. If you want to join in on this and my link does not work, simply just send me an email because it is going to expire at 9 and who knows how long my live will be tonight. I don't think it's going to be 2 hours. I hope it's not because I'm cutting all pieces for Card Club tonight, or started doing that today. But anyway, so you get your choice as long as I have the colors in stock. It's a clear pouch. It's kind of like a cosmetic bag. And I've got some different colors, gold, silver, and blue, and the pink. And I also did a little dangly thing on the end here, just as a pull. It helps you actually open it up. But inside here is all of my favorite adhesives from Stampin' Up. And they consist of mini glue dots. I thoroughly have switched over to the Tombow Mono liquid glue. We used this yesterday for all the card making and when we started some of the gift card holders. So everybody used the green glue, we call it. Stampin' Dimensionals, because we can't live without the self-adhesive foam mounts. There's 300 in here, and that's not counting all of the edge pieces. I caught somebody throwing away the edge pieces yesterday, but they didn't know. They've never stamped before, so we talked about that. No. So anyway, don't throw out those edge pieces. So we got Stampin' Dimensionals, mini glue dots, the liquid glue. I love tear and tape adhesive. It's a perfect size. It's 1/4 inch. I really, really like it. It's 27 yards. So there's plenty on here. I'll be using tear and tape tonight. And then my other choice is the Stampin' Seal Plus. I like the Stampin' Seal Plus for 3D projects and just something that really needs a lot of strength to hold things together. A combination, these three will work really nicely, but some will work better than the others depending on what project you're making. So these are my favorite adhesives, and as a special bonus, you'll get the tote for free, and also my favorite craft fair item to make and easy to mass produce are these little mini sticky notes. And these, I have a ton of these left, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to share some of my craft fair stuffs because I know a lot of you are followers of mine, and you're always looking for items to create for a craft fair. So the stamp set that I used on here is a retired, very, very old one, but it works perfectly for the 1-inch circle punch. I've kept that and I'll never give it away just because of this project. But what this is I created a holder out of our designer paper, and I use I think it's a 1 1/4 and 1 inch for the white circle punch. And I've got the Velcro in here, so it kind of goes together like this, and it opens up, and then you've got a bunch of sticky notes in here. I use these all the time. I find them very handy to have on my desk or in my purse. So I thought I would bring this to you, and this is reusable. If you're really careful with the outside piece here, you can just simply use some glue and glue another one of these mini notebook sticky notes in the holder, and then you can have another round of the mini sticky notes in a holder. So that is free in the adhesive toolkit. So I love bringing the adhesive toolkit on trips. Whether it's long distance trip in the car, to the beach, you know, my crafting goes with me everywhere, whether it's paper crafting, crocheting, whatever. I always have to have something with me to craft. I don't know about you, but I certainly do. And this is a great way to hold your adhesive of choice. So those are my favorite adhesives from Stampin' Up. There is one that's not in there, and that is the Stampin' Seal. Honestly, I don't, and I'm very truthful with you. I do not like the Stampin' Seal. It's just too messy for me. Others love it and can use it, but I just can't use it for some reason. So again, that goes until 9 o'clock tonight. The link is in, there's one link that's going to bring you to all of these. And that was in the description box at the very, kind of the very top. And then the other thing I wanted to say was my free with a purchase class is also in there too. And I did ship out 2 of these today. I want to make sure once I see that order in, and it's in a picking mode, I will be creating your kits and getting them out in the mail. Because Stampin' Up shipment right now, I did speak with them today. They if you have an order waiting to be shipped, and I know 2 of my customers do, they are on November 16th orders. So any orders that were entered into their system on the 16th of November are being picked today. Tomorrow they're going to be moving on to the 17th, and they should be getting closer and closer to being up to date. The holidays, the sale, it just really, they do a lot of business, and I don't think customers really know how much product Stampin' Up sells. I mean, it's in the millions every single month. So just do the math on how many products and how many packs of cardstock that you can sell. So, and it consists of so many orders. But anyway, this is a class that you can receive for free. With a $35 order, you can get the kits here. It does not include the embellishments, but it does include all the pieces here. No stamping, of course, but they will come in a cello bag with your envelope and what have you. If your order is $50 or more, I will provide a package of the basic rhinestone jewels, and then you can see silver and gold. You know, I don't really like to mix those, so I did color the rhinestones with shaded spruce and real red Stampin' Blends Dark. So this is available, this class, until the end of November, so November 30th. And that link to get to this is in my in the description box, or you can find everything at inspiredbygraham.com. And I'm hoping to revamp my website at some point. I have somebody that's interested in doing it and make it a little bit easier, but generally speaking, I just use that as a landing point for my classes. And if you go to it, you'll see that main little picture, but on the right side here are all the links to like Card Club, any classes I have, my host code, free with a purchase, anything I'm offering is on that right side, and it's clickable. Okay, so it doesn't look like I have any questions, so I'm just going to go into what we're making tonight. We are using the Magical Meadow stamp set. This also comes with a bunch of dies, and I've got 2 magnet sheets worth of it. At my retreat, we did use a number of these dies, and you know, at the end, I'll show you the projects we had from retreat. So this day on Sunday consisted of 17 projects, but they weren't really too hard. And I know a couple of you that attended are watching tonight, so you can tell us how you did at the retreat. Okay, so the tag we're going to be making, we're going to make this one tonight first, and then we'll head into the journal because it's just much bigger. Let's just take a look at the paper first. This is carrying over. We know the last chance list is out, and the carryover list as well. I'm so happy that this is going to be carrying over, and I call it a safe paper, meaning that if they run out and it becomes back ordered, they're going to be bringing more of it in. So that's very encouraging. So we'll go through it really quickly. I'm going to be using this piece here. I'm going to show you how I cut my paper with the journal. And on the back side, it's just kind of like like this piece here looks like a frosted window. So they're not like patterns of, you know, greenery or anything. It's just kind of a coordinating color for like a background. This one here I'm going to be using to create the tag. I love the deers. Very nice. I'm like, I could use this paper all the time. I just love it so much. And then here's the berries. And I've actually cut off a piece already for this. This paper I use for my November card club. So if you're not in my card club, my price is going to be going up in January. I don't like to do that, but the price of postage is supposed to go up 5% in January. The USPS just needs approval on that. So that's well over $1 increase for postage. I use a shipping service, so I do get discounted rates. So I like to pass that along to my customer, but I tell you what, I can't afford it. So if you would like to be in my card club, now is the time. You get grandfathered in to the existing rate, which is $39 per month. All right, so here's another scenery. And then this one's here, kind of just a lot of greenery on this one. And that's super bright. It's blueberry bushel, by the way, if you didn't know that. And then this last one here, I tended not to use this one very much. I think just because it just looks a little sad. I don't know. I just was looking a little sad. Not the way trees for me look like. But anyway, I do like the back side for highlighting. So that's the paper. Again, I could use this all the time and find so many different projects to use year round. It's not just Christmas, by the way. Okay, so that's the paper. And again, the stamp set I already showed you. So we're going to go right into the tag. The stamp I'm going to be using says, "May this season of sparkle bring joy and delight," and that's in the Magical Meadow. I'm using Smoky Slate ink, which is a lightish color gray. And then the gorgeous ribbon. I forgot to check to see if this is carrying over or not, but it's the sheer ribbon. It's a 1/2 inch. It was on back order. I'm actually not, I forgot to look to see if this is actually orderable or not, but I stockpiled it, so I have some extra that I'll be using on some projects. So, and it was part of Card Club in November. Participants received 1/2 a bolt of ribbon. All right, so we're going to be using Country Side Corners dies, and here's a template that Debbie here, I think she is watching. She creates my templates for me, which is very handy, and it's helpful for viewers to look at rather than just looking at them on a magnet. You can kind of see exactly what they look like. So they're in basic white. The background is basic black. They're $23. I have 2 sets of these because I use them quite a bit. And they all didn't fit on one side of the cardstock, so we flipped it over and put the other 4 shapes on the back side. We're going to be using this one and I think this one for our tag. I did make another smaller tag for retreat, and it looks like this. This is a smaller deer tag, but it's the same kind of thing. All right, so that's the Countryside Corner dies. And this, let's see, I think that, and then the dies that are in the Magical Meadow we'll be using too. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to stamp just in case I kind of mess up. I got another basic white die cut to use just in case. And I am sitting down, and I always stand up when I stamp. So this is going to be a bit challenging. So maybe I'll just try to squat without hitting my head on the camera or my phone. See if I can get that straight. Oh, it's not too bad. It's a little crooked. It looks like I need to re-ink my Smoky Slate. But here is the image here, may this season of sparkle bring joy and a delight. That's all our stamping for this one. If you had a tag that says to and from, you could put that on the back. But I'm just going to leave it blank for right now. Next step we need to do is, so this is the one, wait, this is the one we're using for the deer. Okay, so it's smaller, of course, than the Smoky Slate cardstock. So what I did, Card Club, they get 6x12 pieces of the DSP. I made the tag out of this image here of the deer. I want to make this side here, that's the main kind of focus on that tree. So how I did that was, or how I'm going to do that is, I'm going to bring my trimmer in first, just because I need to cut this down to size a little bit and it's more workable. So we start with 6x12. This is just how I have my paper cut. I know that I want most of this image here, okay? But also I don't want to waste any of the other paper, right? So what I'll do is I'm just going to turn the paper here like this, and I'm going to cut down at the bottom here. I am just going to trim this off, try to get it with just about no more than like 1/4 of an inch. Yeah, that's probably pretty good border, because that way I'm not wasting any of that paper. Okay, and then if you want, you can trim this down too. This would fit in a bigger, our Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. I'm going to be using the mini embossing machine tonight to die cut this out. So I do want to trim this down because it won't fit. It's a mini machine, and so I need to just get it down, cut down to size. So this one here is going to measure about, if I do 3 1/4, that should be fine. So I'm going to flip this around here and go 3 1/4 and then cut that off. This is still a great size to make cards with, so we'll keep that deer. Okay, so we're done with the cutting. So now I've only wasted just a little bit of that paper. So let's bring in the mini cut and emboss machine here, and then we're going to die cut it. And I definitely want to use some washi tape on here just because I'm not, my edges are very close to the die. So I definitely want to make sure that die doesn't move around. So I'm putting in plate number 1 and then plate number 2. It's the acrylic plate that gets lots of scratches on it and cuts, but don't worry about that. That is normal process. As long as it's flat, I'm happy. Sometimes those plates do bevel up a little bit, but what I have found, especially because I die cut so much, is so most of the time we're working with two acrylic plates. If you mark one that is top and one that is bottom, and you consistently use them top and bottom, don't switch them around, then they will last a long time. I've had one plate last over a year because I've just strictly put it on the bottom, meaning it's the cutting plate. It's still flat. So try it if you have problems with your acrylic plate slick. I know a lot of people do. Just keep one as a bottom and one at the top. Mark it with a Sharpie and give it a try. All right, so let me grab the paper here, and then we are going to add the Countryside Corners dies. I've got a piece of washi tape up here, so I'm going to use it, and I'm probably going to use it on both sides here, because this is right at the edge of the plate I just put in there, and it should cut, but it's right at the edge there. Okay, so now I'm going to sandwich it in with number 2 again. So we've got 1, 2, the designer paper, the die with the washi tape, and then acrylic plate number 2. I'm going to crank it in, see how easily that just went in there. I don't have to do much about it. If you find that your embossing machine slips around on your desk, there are silicone craft sheets, like our normal one should work on the mini. Just simply put it underneath there and it will stay put. I find that that works really nicely. Okay, so we've done our die cutting. I'm just gonna put this off to the side here. And then we'll see what it cut out. And then the washi tape should just kind of come right off. Okay. And then, so all we wasted was this little bit of scrap here. So not too much. You can get make a lot of tags out of all of this paper here. Okay, we're getting almost done really with the tag. It's a very, very simple tag. And then what I did was I took some liquid glue and I just simply added that on to the back or the front side of this. And of course I don't have my glue here. I got a backup one. So this one's ready to go. And this one is semi-used. I used it today and it did work. So hopefully it will work. All right, so I'm just going to add my glue around the edges here. Try to get as close as I can to the edges and a little bit in the middle there. And then we're just going to nest these together. There is a front and a back side of the die cut. So the smooth side should be facing you. And there's a little bit of an edge here inside about 1/16 of an inch that kind of gets marked with the die cutting. So we're just nesting that together. Simple so far. You can take a single hole punch, or I have the, it's called the Very Best Trio Punch. I don't use this very much, but I'm going to use it tonight, and hopefully I can get this in the middle. So there's a little mark on the edge here that will help you guide your paper in and see where the middle is. It's, hopefully I can get it. It's okay. It's not 100% straight, but I'm okay with it. So it's just about a, less than 1/4 of an inch, hole there. So, and another thing I don't have is my darn Stampin' dimensionals. See what happens when I think I'm all set, ready to go? I miss some things. All right, so I'm gonna add probably just 2 dimensionals on the back side of the sentiment. It's not that big. And then this is going to go someplace in this open area here. But I do have these die cuts that I had already previously cut for the retreat. And this is out of Cherry Cobbler. And I thought it looked really nice. It kind of just gave it a little bit of color. And it's super long. So what I tried to do was try to figure out how it would work. And with this pattern here, with the deer on the left side, it was in the way, I thought. So maybe this will be okay. Because the deer's on this side, and we'll just have to see how it's going to look. I might want to just cut it off just because it could be distracting. You guys can let me know because I like your opinions. So let me just squish that down, and I'm just going to peel these off. There's only 2, so that will be super easy. I'm not putting that on there right yet. And I'm going to add this sentiment, kind of try to line it up almost with the edge of the tag, but not completely edge to edge. Just going to give it a little bit of peekaboo right there with the designer paper and make sure that's in there. Now, let me see. Now my dimensionals, I kind of know where they are. Sometimes you can get lucky and just be able to slide things underneath, and sometimes they get in the way. So I'm going to ask you, whoops, should I think I'm going to have to cut it down, but let me work with a different one. That one looks like it's kind of super bent. Okay, should I cut it down or should I leave the stem going underneath? Okay, while you are voting, I like you guys to vote. It's going to kind of go off the edge up here. I'm going to be cutting my ribbon to create this kind of like, I don't know, fluffiness, I guess, and sparkle and shine. So you guys can let me know. And then once we see how many people vote, I'll do whatever you guys want me to do. So in the meantime, I'm just going to grab some ribbon here. And to make that really full, I used 2 pieces of the ribbon. So I kind of just cut one off to just figure out about how much I wanted to use. It's like 6 to 7 inches long. So I've got 2 of them. And then I'm simply just going to put these together. And then I'm going to have to scrunch this up to get it through the hole there. So I'm going to come in through the front side, grab it from the back, make sure it's all kind of flat, and then slip all 4 of those tails through that hole and gently pull. Now, if you pull too hard, you're going to go right through that cardstock. So if you just simply kind of pull back and forth on the, I call them the tails here, it should be okay. You just got to figure out which one is loose and which one does not need to be pulled any tighter. Let me just pull a little bit more here. There's one that's not cooperating, and it's this one right here. So let me just see which one it is. I think it's this one underneath. Nope. That's it, I think. That one's okay there. That's a little bit better. But this is kind of sticking out for some reason. I don't know why. It's probably the way I thread it. Actually, no, it's the front piece. Okay, I think that's the best I'm going to get. Now, I want these to be a little bit nicer than what they are right now. So you can actually just put all 4 together on top of one another. And then you're going to just cut it at an angle. That way you cut all of them all at once and they're all completely done. So let's see. Oh, wait. To get the plates back flat, put boiling hot water in your sink. Place a plate on the bottom, put something heavy on top. Pot. Oh, yeah. I've actually heard of that as well. Okay, so it looks like no stem, and that's what I thought as well. So we are going to add this with no stem. So what I'm going to do is kind of floppy right here. So I'm just going to pull this apart. And then we're going to, oh yeah, that's perfect. Thank you for voting. Okay, I'm going to just take my liquid glue really quickly, and I'm going to add little dots to the bigger portions of the cardstock, and then we're going to flip it back over so the smooth side is facing us, and then I'm just going to slip it underneath here at an angle. Okay, and there we go. Now the gems I used, they were very, very large, and I really didn't know if I liked them or not. Oh my gosh, you have no idea. I tripped on my mini cut and emboss that's on the floor. Oh my gosh, I'm a wreck. Okay, so let me go to I have my embellishments here in this little like clear box. I love it. I found it at TJ Maxx. So I'm going to go through my embellishments really quickly, and there's the basic rhinestones. But if I wanted, we don't have any cherry cobbler except for the festive pearls. Let's grab those. those are a great purchase, not just for every day, but especially now. Oh, I have only one, darn it. But you can kind of see that there's 4 different colors. There's gold, silver, a lightish blue, and there's one cherry cobbler left. So these are only $7.50. And if you're a demonstrator, you get your 20 or 25% off. So they don't cost too much at all. I'm going to just grab these tweezers here. And since that ribbon trim is silver, I am going to go with silver. And I might just have to pick these up. I'm going to put one down here on the sentiment and then grab another one, and let's put one over here. And then I like to go with odd numbers, of course. So 1, 2, and then how about one way down here for no rhyme or reason. We're just going to put it in that open space. All right, so here is our completed tag. You can stamp on the back side if you wanted to. You know, maybe one of those other sentiments, winter wishes, would be good, or the colder, the other one was the colder weather brings us together. Or you could simply just stamp one of the foliage pieces on, or stamps as well, and maybe cherry cobbler. And then you can write on the back of the tag too. So that's our tag. And then here's another one, the same size. And then another one, where'd that little one go? Here's another little one made with the deer. So all kind of the same, but they all kind of look a little bit different depending on where you put that deer as your kind of focal point. So that is our very quick and easy tag that you can mass produce. If you're mass producing one of the same size, what I would recommend is, and you want to use all 6 patterns of your paper, then you would cut it to size and then put all 6 pieces of DSP on top of one another and die cut it going up and back. I'm going to guess that that will cut through all 6 layers. If it doesn't, then just try 3. All right. I want you to be able to maximize your time and be able to make a lot of tags. All right. So this one did not have the any kind of embellishments. We just left it plain. And then these had those big gems, which for card making didn't look very good. So anyway, that is our tag for tonight. And I'm going to switch over to our journal, which is, I don't have anything stamped on it. I just used the beautiful ribbon, and I also used the beautiful designer paper to complete this. Super easy. The only thing you just need to be careful about is your cutting of the paper. Okay, this one here, I doubt you can see it, but I can see it. I did not get the paper long enough, so there's a little bit of cardboard showing that I covered up. So you'll have to remember that some journals, they're not always the same exact size as others. Okay, the back side I did fine, except for down at the bottom. So you want to overcut your paper just a little bit and then take your paper snips to trim it down. On the inside, I didn't really like how I did this. I stamped in the blueberry bushel with a pretty peacock. Tonight I'm doing pretty peacock and pretty peacock. I don't know what Karen was thinking on that one, but anyway. All right, let's get started cutting our paper. And let me just go get it. It's over here. We need our trimmer. And let's see, what else do we need? I've got the stamp already mounted, and it's on a C block, if that's helpful for you. And I mounted it at a diagonal just because going up and down was a little bit too small. I have my pretty peacock Stampin' pad and my trimmer. And then in the kit, people receive their kit like this, very similar to any of my card kits. I put them individually in cello bags, so it's super easy. to see what you're getting. All right, so for instance, this project consisted of a journal. So this is how they come, like a craft kind of look. Okay, so what would you like to receive? Would you like to receive something like this? Or would you like to see, like, you get something like this as a gift, right? It only takes a few minutes to dress something up and make it look like $1,000,000 versus 2 cents. Okay. All right. So let's tackle this. I do like to use my tear and tape on any kind of journals just because we can get really close to the edges with it and it's super strong and I have more control. So I'm going to take the tear and tape right now. Let's find the end. It's kind of a new one. And I kind of work horizontally. So I'm just going to use the tear and tape and I'm going to put it right next to the spine. It's a black spine. These come, I bought like 48 of these journals and they came in different colors. I think 5 of them. And this one in this kit, the person would have gotten black. I always create one extra kit just in case I have somebody that wants a kit later on. So just like Card Club that I'm putting together this week, I am creating one extra one. So if you would like it, I have all the cards. Actually, they're on my other desk, my sample cards to show you, but we're using the same paper and you're going to have another idea on how to use it. Okay, so we've got that done. And then let's add some more up here. Again, I'm getting super close to the edge because I have more control. And then on the back side, we have the back side to do, right? You could add the designer paper to the inside as well. I chose not to just because I wanted to maximize my paper. But if you would like to, go ahead and maybe use a different pattern, maybe the back side of another one, or if you're using 12 by 12, then just find another sheet. Okay, so I'm just slowly adding this on here, and it's very easy to tear off. If you do have a problem tearing it off, let me show you another way to do that. So I'm taking the tear and tape and lining it up right against the spine. And then all the way here. So now if you have a hard time tearing this off, you can use your paper snips, or you can take something that has a straight edge like this block and then line it up to the edge and then just pull it off. And then that's another way of ripping it off. Okay. I want to put some in the middle as well. Oops, not that small a piece. And I like to go like at an angle. And that's usually what I do. Don't worry, I'm going to go back and I'm going to smooth out the adhesive. I'm just putting it on really quickly for right now. Okay, so the next step is that you want this tape, the tear and tape, to stay on. Because if you take it off, the back off right now, your adhesive can certainly come right off the paper. So your best thing to do is take your bone folder and then just rub it back and forth, burnish it really, really hard so you can get all those air bubbles out. And then a lot of times I find going back and forth like 3 times is all you need. I could see a bunch of air bubbles over here. And then I go back and forth and then back and forth. And then, of course, we have the back side to do. So if I was mass producing these, I would be doing this step for all 10. Say I was mass producing 10, I would be putting my tear and tape on all 10, and then I would burnish all 10. All right, and then I would start putting my designer paper on. So I think that's pretty good. If it's hanging over the edge like it is here, don't worry about that. We can just, once we take the backing off, we can just kind of fold it back on itself and it should be fine. All right, now the next step is to cut your paper. So let me bring my trimmer in and let's see. I had a 6x12 that I wanted to use. So let me just see what I did with it. There it is. It's on my other table. Okay, so this journal, I didn't even tell you what size it is, and I honestly can't remember. So let's see what it is. It is, looks like just under, it's about 6. Don't forget you got the spine here, so you can't count that. But it's 6 inches across, and it is, so 6 by about 8 inches, just a little less than 8 inches. So that's the size of this. But our paper, it needs to be something different. So let me grab my instruction sheet here, which everyone received. And it says you need Winter Meadows DSP 5 1/4-ish by 8-ish, meaning you need that little 1/16 of an inch or 1/8 of an inch wider just to make sure you get all the way over to the edges, okay? So you don't have any of that craft kind of paper showing. So I am going to cut it. This is 6x12. So I'm going to close that back up. And I want this to be, let's see, 8-ish. I'm going to need 2 sheets. Actually, no, I need to go like this. So I want 8 inches, 8-ish inches. So I went over about, I'm going to try just 1 tick mark, and that's a 1/16 of an inch. Okay, so 8 1/16. Here I go. I'm going to cut the beautiful paper. Boom, I did it. Now this you can use for a card front, another tag, another journal if you had a smaller one. Okay, and so that's 8-ish, and now we need to have this 5 1/4-ish. All right, so 5 1/4, and let's go over 1 more tick mark and see where it's going to bring us. So we're going to cut off this piece here, which I'm fine with. I want to keep as much of the color as I can. So again, you can use this for the inside of a card or to highlight something on a project. Okay, so that's one. You're going to need another one because we have the front and the back. So let me grab the other sheet here. And you could cut the same thing, same side, or you can flip it over and maybe have something different on the back side. So I can do that for you just to show you what it looks like. I can't remember what the other one looked like, to be honest with you, what side I used. So I'll cut this side so you can kind of see. So we are going to go again at 8 1/16. Oh, I'm gonna cut this. Oof. I hate doing it, but I gotta do it. All right. And then we're gonna cut this side because I want to use this side. And this is going to be 5 1/4-ish. So 5 1/4 and 1 tick mark for the 1/16. And I'm gonna trim this side off and I'll save this to decorate my envelope or the inside of a card. Okay, I like this one because it's got 2 different corners, and you can either flip it, either way and it works either way. Okay, so if you want more of the foliage on the bottom, go that way. If you want more on the top, flip it that way. Okay, I think we're done with our trimmer. And we are going to bring in our journal once again. Let me just see what I did on this one. So that's the front side we're going to make. And then, oh yeah, on the back side, I used the part that has all that foliage. So this one is going to look a little bit different. Now, this journal looks, you got to just make sure you are putting your paper on the correct way. So you don't want your journal upside down. So of course, always look at the inside. I've got more of a space at the top, so I know that this is going to be going this way. And then we're going to just peel this off. You can use your, take your pick tool. Since it is really stuck on there nice with the bone folder burnishing, see how easy that comes off? Like I'm literally just, and I have no fingernails left because it's winter and they all broke. So I don't know if you guys had that problem, but I certainly do. I bought the fake nails, but I haven't put them on yet. All right, so one more. You can use tweezers as well if you can't. Let me grab those. Of course, my take your pick tools on my other desk. But I've got these handicraft or these tweezers, crafting tweezers that work too. Now you're only going to want to work on one side. Okay, see how sticky this is? It's like really, really sticky. Now again, if you had some of that tear and tape that was over the edge, make sure this is the time to fold it back on itself. Just double check. Again, I'm rechecking to make sure I have this the correct way. And the panel that I'm using, let's make sure I didn't screw up and grab the wrong one. I want this one for the front. So for me, I like to work like in card making. I work from the top right corner to the bottom. So technically speaking, if this spine is straight, then everything else should flow, hopefully. But I'm going to just kind of hover over here, and at the top, I've got it hanging over just a little bit, which I do on both sides. So this journal is a little bit smaller because it's hanging over both edges, which is okay because I'll just need to do a little bit more trimming. Okay, so I'm going to take my bone folder, and now we're just going to, I use the side of it just to press down really nicely. Make sure you get the edges. You can open it up here. You can see all the excess, but that's going to be easy to cut off with our paper snips. Okay, so that looks pretty good. Let me grab my paper snips. We can do that step right now. I work this way, and the paper snips gets very close to the edge. If you don't own our paper snips, I highly suggest you go and put one on order. Head over to my website, inspiredbygram.com, and don't just order one, order two, or order three, or order four, because you always want two of these. Because I actually have 4 desks in my room now. I have no idea how I fit another desk in here, but I did. And I have 2 paper snips in my craft room. So at least I have 2 desks that have them on there. And a lot of times, I don't know if this happens to you, but they sometimes end up on the same desk. Okay, so you can see how much I did cut off, but I know now that I don't have any of it showing, which is great. You can take an emery board and just sand this down really quickly. Let me grab one. Oh no! Oh my gosh! You guys just didn't see that. This is live. Oh my god. My Acron nail fell. Oh my gosh. Oh, lordy lord. Now it's way like awful here. Okay, I'm getting straight back down. Okay, we're going to do this last because it's going to make a mess on my desk. Okay, so now we're going to focus back on this. Whoa, and I'm way too close, but I don't dare to like move it because my phone looks like it's barely on there. Oh, Lord. It's only Monday. What does that tell you? Have you guys ever seen another demonstrator do that? Or is this your first demonstrator? Am I okay? Yeah, gotta love live. Oh, can't edit anything, right, Carla? I don't edit anyway, so what you see is what you get. I am just my original self. And I am wearing shorts, by the way. I went to the post office today, too, in shorts. It was 36 degrees, but I got in my car and I drove down there because apparently we don't have a mail carrier anymore. And that means we get mail delivery at our at the end of our driveway, and they have nobody to deliver the mail. So now we have to go pick up our mail down at the post office every single day. So that'll be something added onto my schedule, but that's okay. They're working on getting a new one. All right, so then again, let's get back to this journal here, and it's super, super close. Let me see if I can, no, I can't zoom out, but I think it might be better if it's closer. So remember I said we can either go this way or we can go this way. Doesn't really matter, whatever your preference is. I'm going this way because I want that heavier side on the bottom. So again, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm lining this up. Actually, I forgot to check to see if there's any tape hanging over, which doesn't look like it. So again, I am taking the designer paper and lining it right up against the spine, that black. There's no need to cover up the black because it is really nice. This is a really nice journal, so it's not a cheapie. All right, so I'm going to take my bone folder and just give it really good burnish on the outside and then on the inside. So your safety zone is that 1/16 of an inch. And it looks like we have about the same amount of paper hanging over the edge, but that is super good. So I'm going to take my paper snips real quick, and we're just going to cut up along the side. Okay. Being very careful not to cut the journal, meaning the cardboard craft part of it. And don't forget, I'm going to be giving away this journal and the tag that I made tonight to one of my email subscribers. So if you're not on my email list, make sure you are. Just go to inspiredbygram.com and then fill out that pop-up, and you should be good to go. All right, so this emery board here, I am going to just sandpaper it, like just rub it on the edge. That way it kind of cleans up that paper. Some people also will take a sponge dauber and kind of make it look a little bit vintage on the edges. I don't do that. I just kind of leave it the way it is, natural. But right now, those edges are pretty smooth, and then I'm going to flip it over, and we'll do the same thing. Looks like I did a really good job of lining that paper up just by increasing it by 1/16 of an inch. So I can guarantee you that not all of your journals are always the same size, so you always have to be careful. Okay, I think that looks really good. Let me just wipe down my surface here because there's some paper residue. We're almost done. I'm going to do some stamping next. So I have that pretty peacock. And then I've got a scallop contours die cut, which has been so popular. If you don't have these, you should. I have 2 sets of these. I don't know if you can see this all or not, but here's my template, the scallop contours. If you're interested, it's item number 155560. But lots of great rectangles that are super pretty. I'm going to take that little berry stamp and I'm going to just ink it up. It's a distinctive stamp, which is also really nice. And I'm just going to stamp it right over here in the corner. Okay. So you can add some Wink of Stella to just kind of maybe give it some little sparkle and shine. I'll do that at the end. I'm just going to let that dry. Now, sometimes when you die cut more than one piece, you might have a little bit of extra work, and that is just popping these out. Usually, this doesn't happen, but it did on this one. I die cut this back in September, so who knows how many sheets I had, but I safely can run 2 sheets of cardstock through. I have an electric die cutting machine, so that's probably why. I do have a Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine too, but I do so much die cutting that I can't crank it. I used to until my wrist started hurting, and that's probably why I got the carpal tunnel. Who knows? All right, so I'm going to take my glue, or you use whatever adhesive you like. I like the glue, the wet glue. And then we're just going to center this right onto the pretty peacock scallop contours. Now, if you really want to use your tear and tape, you can do that. I think it's going to be just fine if we just use the liquid glue on this step. It won't get as much usage on the inside that one will get being on the outside there. So I'm going to just put this here. This makes a really nice place where you can write a message to whoever you give this to. I'm going to give it a little extra time to stick. I'm going to take my Wink of Stella right now, and I'm just going to lightly, oh, I got some ink on there, darn it. I'm just going to take the Wink of Stella, and I'm just going to kind of brush stroke the Wink of Stella. Let me just see. It might be almost out. Yeah, let me grab a different one. I need to put some rubbing alcohol in that. Did you know you can extend your Wink of Stella by just putting like a teaspoon of rubbing alcohol in it? You just need to take it apart and add in. Some of these I have on my desk. I've had like forever. That one's kind of, geez, this is a newer one. Okay, so I'm just going to take my Wink of Stella here and just give these little berries a little bit of glitter. And let's throw some on these leaves as well. Okay, so I don't know if you can see that, but it is sparkly, just like that ribbon we're going to add on. So let's grab some of that sheer ribbon. I think this is what makes it. So what you have to be careful about is you want this ribbon on the inside to be flat. You don't want it twisted up. All right, so I've got it flat. And then I want a big, try to get a big bow created. We'll see if I can do it. I think that's probably enough. And I want that bow to be kind of in the middle. Okay, I've got that. I'm gonna have to use, I think I'm gonna have to use my craft tweezers here. I wanna make sure you extend that bolt pretty far. I got it twisted, hold on. Let's see. Not too bad. Now I can work it. I can still move it around. If I don't like it where it ends up, I can certainly move it. I'm gonna take these tails and make the loops a little bit smaller so I can really get it tight. I think that's good. It's very loose right here, but I'm gonna put a glue dot underneath it and it will be secure. So I'm just gonna angle cut that. And I'm going to angle cut this one here, freshen up the edge. And then I will take my mini glue dot. See if I can trip again and have everything go flying. All right, I'm just going to take that off, roll it on the tip of these tweezers here, and then slide it here and then press that knot right down. Now it's secure. Okay, and then on the inside, it's flat as well. If you really wanted to make it shine on the front, you could add some festive pearls. Let's do that. I can add some of these silver ones here. I don't like to put too many embellishments on my fronts of the journals just because they can easily fall off. But since I've got these, I'll just add 3 here. 1, 2, and let's just put one over there. Okay, you could add 5 too. You might want to do 5 instead of 3 since it's a bigger surface, but for now I'm just going to add 3. I think that's it. I think that is it. So let's recap without me falling. Okay, so here's that journal. And then on the inside, we got a little boo-boo there, but that's okay. And then there's that little berry and the pretty peacock, because it all matches now. And then on the back side, we got a different design. Okay, so that's that one. The original one I made was here. And it's a little bit bigger bow. But I used blueberry bushel. I think it's just because I wanted to get some of the blue on the inside. But I should have used blueberry bushel as the scallop contours. That would have been a little bit more coordinating. On the back side, we've got that one. All right, so the other things that I have made with the Winter Meadows, let me just show you. I'm gonna put the camera up a little bit higher. When it fell, everything just went ajar. So hold on, close your eyes. Okay, this will give me a little bit more space. It's a little crooked. Okay, so we have, we've made these, which make a really nice gift, very inexpensive, but who wants to get that craft journal when you can make something look a million times better with just a little bit of paper and not much labor. It was not very labor intensive. And with all the designs, like even the deer one, would look really nice for masculine. I would not add, of course, the ribbon, but that would look really good too. All right, so we have 2 little journals we can make with the Winter Meadows. And then here are the larger tags. You can see where I doubled the top of the ribbon. And then here's a smaller one that was part of that class. Same kind of thing, but just on a smaller scale. We made this, which is out of blueberry bushel, and we did some die cutting, stamping and die cutting. This is garden green with the Blueberry Bushel. All is Merry and Bright is from a different stamp set, but there was only 3 sentiments in the Magical Meadow, so it made it a little bit more difficult to work with. So I did add in, what is that one? Is it the Brightest Christmas? It's not Brightest Christmas. It's something. I used it all weekend. You'd think I'd remember. But anyway, so this is just a nice little box we made. So it's a belly band that comes off. And inside it, I actually have a block. It's a B block. And I actually want that one. So we're going to take that back out. And then the belly band just kind of slides on there. And you can put whatever you want on the inside here. So that was super cute. We made 2 of those. Let me just actually put this back in so it will stand up at the end. Okay, so that's super cute. And then we made 2 of those. We have already made this one together, which was a nice little, like a bag or a box type of thing. So that was that. It's hard to put everything out here. We made this taller box. It has a opening at the top. It's got a cello bag here. I've got some tea in there and some chocolates. And it's more rectangle than anything. I have not made this with you yet. Maybe I'll make it next week. But it's super easy to make as well. We used, what is this color? I can't remember. Lost Lagoon, I think. So it's super easy to make. And then let me show you just a couple cards that I have that were not part of Card Club, but this was part of a swap. And I don't know if you can see, but they used probably their Stampin' blends and flicked and made it all like a splatter kind of thing here with their probably Misty Moonlight Stampin' blends. But this is just a different color scheme. Really beautiful. That's Berry Burst. So it looks like we've got Berry Burst, Misty Moonlight, and probably second generation Berry Burst with, this looks like it's gray granite because it's a different shade. It's got a little bit more brown in it than the Smoky Slate. And then here's a card. You've seen this one before, but I did want to show you the card that we made. And then we made another one using the blue paper and Joy. And then you can see how I kind of wrapped that ribbon underneath. And then on the inside, just use scraps of the designer paper to dress up. So I think that is it I have. So let me just see if there's any questions. And then I'm going to wrap things up, pick up, and then I'm going to continue on with Card Club. I got another hour. I can work on it before I head to bed. So let's see. Oh, it's Brightest Glow. Thank you, Debbie. I knew you would help me out. All right. So no questions so far. Yeah, that paper is beautiful. I'm so happy that it is carrying over. Yeah, so I'm going to try the journals tomorrow. Craft show on Saturday. Best of luck, Teresa. You got to let us know how it goes. Let us see your setup. Okay, post that on our team page. Love to see it. Sorry, I'm really out of focus. But no questions. I am going to sign off. Thanks for watching and thanks for being, sorry, I was such a klutz today. I'll see you guys probably next Monday. I don't think anything's on my calendar. So I will see you next week. All right, take care and